The universe is not testing you. Who's the universe? You. Okay? So when people always talk about, when you hear all these spiritual people online talking about when you're ready to make a change, that's when temptation is gonna come its hardest and try to sway you from making your choice. Now, yes, this is true to an extent, okay? Because the way energy works, you gotta relate it to something that you see in the physical, right? Think of a hurricane. They always say that the quietest part and the most calm part of a hurricane is the center of it, okay? But to get to the center of it, where it's calm, you got to go through some hellified winds and some hellified turbulence. And even if you think about running water, let's say you're in a flood and there's running water that's rushing past your front door. In order for you to get into the flow in that river, you got to push hella hard against that door, or it's probably going to get torn off or something. Visualize this in your mind. There's a huge wave of water that's coming across your front door, and you trying to get into that water. You have to exert a lot of force to get that door open, but once you in it and in the flow, things calm down a bit. So change is very similar. When we're getting ready to make a huge change in our lives, there has to be a little bit of a tornado that comes up, because you have to destroy to rebuild. This is just common sense with how anything is done. You see it all the time in the real world. If you want to build a new house or you want to renovate your house, you got to tear out all the walls, you got to tear off the roof, you got to tear out all the old stuff, and it's going to look a hot ass mess for a minute before you get the new stuff in place to create the vision of what you want it to look like now. Life is the same way when you're making a change, a huge change in your life. But I don't like the theory of there's some like mysterious thing out there that's just determined to evilly throw you off your path. It's you doing this to you. And I'll tell you where it comes from. It comes from a place of indecision. When you make decisions, the word decide means to literally cut off. Okay? When you truly make a decision, I'm not talking about what we tend to do a lot of the time, where it's like, oh, I'm thinking about it, or I want to do it, but I don't know. I don't know. Because you know you ain't made a decision if the but comes after that. That's a real good indicator that you have not made a true choice. Because if you still talking about, well, I want to, but I need to, but you ain't ready. Because once you really make the decision, you're going to cut off all options. You literally burn the bridge to the old place. And so when the quote unquote temptation shows up, you see it and it doesn't move you, because you've already made the choice to be the type of person that you want to become. Once you commit to that new version of yourself, it does not matter what shows up to tempt you or to sway you. You're just going to see it as a cloud passing by, and you're just going to go on with your business, because this is the choice I've already made. So when you actually make the decision, you cut off everything else. The test it's not going to feel like a test. You're going to see remnants of and reminders of your old self, but there's not going to be this pull to go back to it. Now, if it does feel like a test or a pull, you in the gray area somewhere. You somewhere in the gray, okay? And that test that's coming up is showing you those places of indecision that are still remaining within yourself about this decision, whatever that is. And that's for you to sit with and figure out what that is. And that's all it is. So, don't get so caught up in this idea, because that'll stop you from making choices. because you'll have this fear in the back of your mind that, oh, when I decide to do away with this, that all hell is gonna break loose. Yes and no. There has to be some destruction that has to happen, but when I tell you, once you've made the choice to do whatever it is that you want to do, to be the type of person that you want to be, it don't matter if kingdom come across your door. You're going to say, this is just a part of it. I've already decided what I want to do, and I'm gonna take it in stride. We gonna figure it out, but we going ahead. We're going ahead. So that's really it. Use those moments to see, those moments of being tested, to see where you have weak spots. Have you truly made your choice? Have you truly made your decision? And that'll show you where you need to do the work. Because like I said, once you truly decided, you're not going to feel like there's this temptation that's coming to thwart your plans and throw you off your path and this, that, and the third. It's just you showing you. And when you see things like that, when you start to see life that way, you are able to take more power and control about what you're doing. Because if you always think it's something outside of you that's doing all this stuff to me, then how you ever going to get into a place of power, of true power? It's always going to be up to something or someone else. You know what I mean? So that's all I got. Just wanted to share that little tidbit. All right, enjoy your day.